teams like CLG.
Absolutely, and yeah, this team, Winterfox, does have their sights set on the long term. This split is mainly about avoiding that promotion tournament and setting their sights on a strong finish in the summer. Of course, we are also getting a championship point system, so a decent placement is important in their dream into Worlds because those points add up from spring to summer.
So we'll see. Even the teams that missed that first place spot still have a lot to look forward to when they've got a real good chance of qualifying for Worlds. But that's all very, very far away right now. For now, we've got Zed, Annie, and Sion all banned away from Winterfox. Imagine's best performance has been on Annie.
Yeah.
The engaged supports were good. Lysandra in Italy, Rumble removed from CLG. ZionSpartan doesn't get Rumble, but you know what? He gets Maokai, so whatever.
This is a really big thing that was creeping up trend-wise last week, but is full-blown this week in the NA LCS, is the prevalence of Maokai as a priority pick. No longer is it Gnar, it seems like. Teams are just defaulting back onto Maokai. I've talked to some people about this as well. They say that Maokai just brings more reliable initiation than the Gnar, and because Gnar has been such a big pick, teams are just getting better at recognizing his rage bar and not allowing him to land good Gnar ultimates.
And what looks like reliability, I guess I would say, is what's important here for these guys, but you still got 9 champs that show up.
So the really funny thing is this is like the second or third top laner this game that is locked in and then has Hecarim Summoner spell. Yeah. So one thing that ends up happening, I believe, is a lot of these guys will play practice games on the tournament realm when a new patch is on live, but they want to play on the old patch. And Summoner spells carry over from previous games. So ZionSpartan had clearly just played Hecarim.
Yeah.
And obviously Avalon has been playing it a little bit as well. He switched those Summoners just now. But it's kind of a big deal right now, Hecarim top lane all around the world.
Yep. It all showed up and really became super popular this week. It's funny because a lot of players were practicing him in the off-season before the LCS even started. And then no one was like, you know, it's not really worth it, whatever. And then now it's just like back again. But we get Doublelift's Kalista one more time and a giant front line of Maokai Jarvan to supplement him.
Yeah.
CLG looking pretty happy.
And if Hecarim doesn't catch Kalista with the first burst of damage, he's not catching Kalista for the most part. Doublelift, an incredibly threatening Kalista player. That'll be a nice pick. We'll talk about Hecarim plenty once we get into this match. But for now, it's just what Winterfox decides to go in more with, because Hecarim and Rek'Sai are things that Avalon and Helios can go in together with, which is always a good sign for Winterfox.
It's going to be fun watching these skill shot engages here. I want to see this game, Doublelift, hop forward through a Hecarim to not get feared.
That'd be clever.
Happens once, calling it right now. Janna, Corki, though, in for Winterfox, so Altec and Imagine. I think all we've seen Imagine play so far is Annie and Janna. Annie's gone, goes back to Janna. And we'll see if
in his
those
2 games,
two can do
he's
well.
played 2 champions.
Yep, and he's repeated one of them. The other one got banned. I'm just saying, I've noticed the trend. Okay.
Trend. Is it a trend? I think you need like 3 or 4 things to make it a trend.
Well, I mean, trends have to start somewhere.
True. The trend of CLG about to pick champions happens every game.
They will, in fact, lock in 2 more.
Yeah, they need a mid laner and a support here. The Ballista is kind of a real possibility, especially against some Janna disengage. But really, Aphromoo can play whatever he wants. And Link has to pick this one blind into Pobelter, which is always a little bit dangerous.
You know, Altec is a trend breaker. Only one looking right so far, champion-wise and champ select.
Thanks.
Yep.
Good analysis.
Adding information, Aphromoo, Thresh, Ezreal. That's the blind pick mid.
Whoa.
So, more double AD, or is it?
Hey.
With the Ezreal mid pick.
CLG is an exception-making team. You see that win rate of Ezreal 1 in 5? That was Link winning.
That is Link.
Remember that one CLG Lysandra loss? That was also Link.
That's
they just break the patterns no matter what.
Oh, man. Well, here we go. The blonde marksman in the mid lane here. And Winterfox, Pobelter traditionally has been very good on the big individual playmakers, the Kassadins, the LeBlancs, as we're seeing here. Now, I've heard players say that actually Ezreal is good against LeBlanc. I'm not sure I buy it or if I'm remembering properly.
We've already seen this matchup once today. Xiao played it against Lushi. It didn't look super strong.
True.
I can see how Ezreal can get a lane advantage over LeBlanc. Keeps his distance, pokes with Q, can farm, you know, never getting in distortion range of LeBlanc. But then he has to be very careful with vision control. And that is also a completely different matchup.
All right, so Kassadin is the pickup after all for Pobelter. Now, we've seen people pick Ezreal into this so often to bully the champion out of lane and never let the Kassadin scale up. Pobelter doesn't seem to care about that whatsoever. He's going to pick into the matchup all the same and hope that he gets enough assistance to get out of lane with some kind of gold.
Yeah, they're just diving in. Everyone all aboard the Hecarim train. Like, Hecarim will fly in, Rek'Sai will tunnel in, Kassadin's going to come in across the top. That's really where this team feels like they're going to have stuff, and hopefully Imagine can roam around and just kind of supplement that, because this could be one of those teams where Janna doesn't really know where to be, and the Janna is more about avoiding the other team having it for disengage, just having it on their own side. Winterfox, all in.
All right, well, Winterfox all in with the Janna, randomly running around to the backside, maybe giving a bit extra attack damage to Altec, Helios, or someone else. The crowd seems to be looking ready for this one. Closing marks to the various teams, and Skara and Paragon will meet.
Very polite handshake. Yeah, Link on Ezreal round 2. His last Ezreal performance was absolutely massive. If you remember, he had Trinity Force and a transformed Manamune like 22 or so minutes into the game. Just went off. We'll see if he can do something similar here.
Well, we'll see if he can explode people in this game as well. For those of you playing Caster at home, you can share your predictions for this match by tweeting hashtag CLG win or hashtag WFX win. If you think Counterlogic Gaming or Winterfox will win this game, it's going to be a very fun one, guys. Get ready, it's Game 5. CLG needs to win this to hold themselves in second place. As Cloud9 nip right at their heels. Winterfox, though, as we're seeing the middle teams spread out a little bit more.
Yeah,
hoping to stay on the top side.
The interesting thing is, because of the Team 8 versus Team Impulse result, there's a lot of teams sitting at 5 and 6.
Yeah.
It would be very important to get that leg up. I mean, with this shortened NA LCS season when compared to previous years, 18 games to complete a split, every game does become more important in the grand scheme of things. This is really interesting. The fact that... So, I'm almost never a fan of invades quite like this. CLG invaded to get ward control, but they never covered their tracks. A lot of times, if a team's going to make a strong invade move, I like it if they delay it a little bit so someone can get a ward in their own red side jungle so they at least know what the opponent knows. At the moment, CLG knows where their wards are, but nothing else. Helios sneaking in with that, sneaking in behind them to get that one ward could be incredibly vital information. Sometimes that actually leads to a team dying at level 1 because, you know, Winterfox could have set up a trap if Helios could have snuck around the back, but instead they just end up getting vision.
But it will be interesting if lane swaps happen here. We'll see what that happens here. Looks like with Kalista heading top and Corki bottom, that is the case. And Pobelter says that CLG's ability to outplay lane swaps is one reason that they are so dangerous.
I think that they have a really good grasp of the lane swap metagame right now, and so that's what lets them win a lot of the time. Like, a lot of the time, the game's just decided within the first 5 minutes because they just see a massive lead by outplaying in the lane swap. So I think that's what makes them strong.
And to go with what Pobelter said, there have been games where CLG does somewhat revolutionary things, like when they actually took the first wave behind a team's turret, and now when they're using the lane swap to just try and shut down Pobelter. We have to see how this one develops.
You can see their jungle so far staying in the strong side of the map. In fact, Zion solo to camp. They gave solo XP to Xmithie on another one. He looked mid and saw nothing for it. All right, just like the quick check, take 10 seconds, see if Kassadin overextends. Not the case. Avalon and Helios continue to trade.
Yeah, and at this point, it is almost a direct mirror. Both waves, both AD carries have froze the wave. Both sides are double jungling. I like to call it vertically, where they basically just stay with their duo lane and vertically farm beside them for safety. It's very even right now as far as lane swapping, and some of that happens by the fact that CLG didn't actually scout for Winterfox. They just scouted for their own play, making it much easier for Winterfox to straight up mimic.
So far, pretty safe game. 1, 2, 3, 4 camps cleared by CLG. Winterfox clear what looks like 3 now for themselves, actually, but they're also going to go for the duo dragon. The Shin brothers
They can absolutely do this. But we have to ask, what are they actually sacrificing for this? It looks like very little.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I'm not a fan of early dragons because you could get a gank or farm a camp, and the instant gain of the dragon is so minimal at the very start of the game. But that's a 3-minute, 55-second dragon, and they literally only invested the time. They really tanked it quite well. Rek'Sai and Hecarim, tremendous sustain on the jungle, and that was actually just waiting for their camps to respawn. Instead of recalling, they're just going back to the double jungling. That is probably the most efficient early game dragon take I have seen a team do this year.
Yeah, they've really practiced their NES style because the double dragon right there was quite clean by Winterfox.
Oh boy.
And well, level 3 on both these guys.
Those are probably the first games they were playing together as kids, so you never know.
Well, ZionSpartan, though, he's going to be the first man to walk into the 1v2 lane. Immediately gives Imagine 18 gold, and now is going to try to leech some experience. Xmithie goes back to the mid lane. Pobelter, not level 6. The flash in by Link, a whole bunch of damage. Wow! Aphromoo was the flash. He lands the hook through the lane.
Yeah, where did that hook come from? Like, you saw he flashed for what looks like a max range hook. We'll have to see that one again from Aphromoo's perspective, because that really hurts Pobelter. He'd gone through this, passive early game, and he sees a Jarvan coming. He's like, okay, maybe. Getting knocked up is unfortunate, and as it's hitting, Aphromoo barely gets that hook by the minions as well.
Yeah.
That was a millimeter, it felt like, from one of those minions, but it gets the kill onto Link, which is the most valuable person.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible. And Belter had the ability to choose to flash it, but without seeing Aphro, he figured, oh, there's no real threat. I'll take 400 health, chug a flask, and come back.
He was hoping to save his flash in case something like Aphromoo appeared in the mid lane.
Hold on, though. Xmithie gonna go and knock 2 people out there on top of a ward. In comes Aphromoo again. Hooks up 1. Avalon will burn to death, and it's 2-0 CLG. Now Helios stuck in the middle of the team, gonna get rooted up. A 3rd kill on Link already.
Uh-oh. Here comes Link on Ezreal. Wow, so what was a very clean early game by Winterfox because of that efficient dragon all goes down there. Pobelter wanting to have some Summoner Spell discipline, saving his flash, and then that loss of control led to deep wards by CLG in that jungle. The fact that Winterfox decided to stop the vertical jungling at that moment when they really were not safe to do so, couldn't clear out the pink wards. It was just an easy fight for CLG to take. I'm sure when they watch the replay, they're going to be smacking themselves about all those wards that were in their jungle.
That's CLG doing an amazing job of capitalizing on all the miscues. Doublelift still yet to recall. The first one for Link, though, gives him a Mana Mune.
He has that item 6 minutes into the match. He's 1,000 gold ahead of pretty much everybody in the game.
Yeah.
So which is, at this point, is actually a 50% power boost. I mean, 3,000 gold to 2,000 gold, and the fact that he's recently just spent it all. He's a very dangerous mid lane Ezreal.
Yeah, the 2 highest gold values in the game are on Link and Xmithie. Xmithie with the 3 assists, making that one pretty obvious. And Link well poised to destroy in this game. 2/3 of a Catalyst, the only items for his lane opponent down there. And life looks grim. Now, Hecarim once again with the early boots too. The idea being an early home guard so you can make those teleport plays, but pre-6 they're not going to be very effective, I think.
Yeah, 2,000 gold lead at this point. Now we can kind of touch back in with how are the duo lanes doing, how are the top laners doing, and for the most part, they're fairly mirrored. Helios and Avalon are a little bit lower in CS because of the deaths that they suffered, but the AD carry farm is about the same. They've both been freezing, so they're both going to have near perfect farm, or at least they should. The main discrepancy is in that mid lane where Link has been the beneficiary of some fantastic play by CLG.
And we'll see what they can snowball that lead into. Of course, Ezreal fairly safe, I would say, against Rek'Sai, Kassadin. There is some threat, but by and large, you'd think he'd be able to push with near impunity. And you can see up against the turret already, CLG with a couple of deep wards are going to steal the red buff one more time, and they're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from assisting if a gank does happen.
Can I just say, I love the pink ward lines that CLG set up. The 3 spots, the 3 brushes they have warded on that side, the river in front of the red buff, behind the red buff. are just, if you're going to have 3 pink wards on that side of the map, that's where you want them. And it's what's created so many of their kills.
No one can go to the left side of the map without walking all the way through the lane. And Winterfox become quite predictable, interestingly enough, thanks to vision control more so than champ select games by CLG.
Ooh. He was in the turret shield. He would have been fine.
Could stop the recall, though. Buy him a couple more seconds without getting Golder experience, but all the same, Winterfox forced to move their top laner Avalon, and Xmithie somehow gets to take the red buff that he shouldn't have any rights to, but with all the lane pressure, that's 2 red buffs for Xmithie.
Well, they recognized that Link had so much mid lane pressure, it drew the jungle game towards mid lane. And a really smart timing for him to go back there.
And a patient start by Doublelift and Aphromoo. They realized, okay, 7 minutes has passed, turrets are now vulnerable, let's switch what we're doing, push the lane instead, then recall, BF sword, recurve bow, longsword, bunch of damage and attack for Doublelift.
The order of that build is something we don't normally see on Kalista. You'll see either a Hurricane Rush or a Vamp Scepter to Blade of the Ruin King Rush. He's going with the Hurricane Bloodthirster build, but since he's never actually fighting against anyone and he's just farming, that build actually gives him really high in-team fight damage if he's not worried about any sustain. Just getting the most valuable components of both the Bloodthirster and the Hurricane builds.
Yeah, I do expect him to finish Hurricane first, and I actually think he would have gotten Dagger if he could have afforded it, as opposed to that Longsword there. But I think it's because you can. It's basically what Tristana used to do last season, where you do like Pickaxe, BF into Shiv. You'd get some AD for last hitting, because as time goes on, it gets harder under turret. And, I mean, you destroy turret, so hey, that's great too. But I think he's going to complete Hurricane as his next optimal purchase. Aphromoo, though, missing the hook after the flay and gets chunked out by that one. Gotta be careful. Good ult by Doublelift, gonna hop away and let his teammate get out, but Double still taking poke. Maybe a bit overextended. CLG, they're still forced to run. Xmithie gonna flag and drag out. Helios, good go for the flash knockup. You've got a lot of teammates. 4-man hit there. True shot barrage across the team, and the re-engage comes in. Double gets the first kill, and they trade back 1 for 1. Both junglers dead. Avalon, though, gonna make that the second casualty. The flash in for Double. Looks for Altec next, with Pobelter escapes. 2 for 2 overall. I didn't see that Aphromoo had also fallen in that fight.
Yeah, right around the end probably for Aphromoo. It looked like CLG was about to just easily take a turret without any risk, but then they decided to kind of reach a little bit further, and it pushed Winterfox into trying to counter them. Unfortunately, Avalon teleported in as a level 5 Hecarim, so he couldn't do anything with it, and would have been much better served just taking the chunks out of CLG and continuing to push top lane, because after that is all said and done, CLG maintains their large lead in this game and can actually push down another turret.
And that's going to be the mid lane one, in fact, as Kalista... Oh, Link. I think he's going to be okay here, but Pobelter putting in a little bit of oomph into that lane. Quick ward clear. Dragon is back up after the first one that Winterfox did manage to sneak. The Doublelift held bot the whole time. Top lane really under no threat.
They know Avalon's teleport is down, and Avalon just showed up in that top lane. So Hecarim is fast, yes, but I think CLG can take this turret before he arrives.
And building towards the fade, that's not going to matter much here. That's going to be the quick rend and the pickup for Doublelift there. And they're going to lantern him out. Xmithie going to flag and drag out as well. And look at that. CLG got all the lanes pushed out enough that there was no threat. And they can walk back into lanes. Mid actually may be under a bit of pressure. We'll see.
Potentially. Winterfox trying to make the best of some bad situations. CLG such a great early and mid-game team, as even Pobelter recognized in these lane swaps especially. While it seemed like Winterfox was getting the edge because of the dragon take, CLG oftentimes, as the team that initiates the lane swap, has to opt in to giving up the dragon. Otherwise, everyone will just meet in standard lanes anyway. And as soon as Winterfox extended the game, CLG found those advantages pretty much from the lane swap game. And it's their bread and butter.
A great early gank onto Pobelter and a great everything else. Here's the play from Aphromoo looking for Altec. Valkyrie has already been burned, so there's no way he can really go. Good hook to make sure no more damage comes to Doublelift. And there is the 6th kill of the game. Doublelift 3-0. And when he recalls, I think it's the Hurricane.
And on top of CLG being up 6 kills, it's 6 kills on the perfect employees for CLG right there. Having both of your AD carries in a double AD carry composition multiplies the power of that mid-game spike they're going to have when they complete some of these items. They're super strong now. Just wait until they finish those big items.
It's going to be all kinds of scary. And yeah, tank busting should be pretty easy. Wave pushing should be pretty easy. Pretty much everything that CLG wants to do should be well within their grasp. Link wanted to play aggressively but has no teammates around him, so he pokes the red buff and leaves. And Winterfox at least regain control of their own jungle.
And here's the other thing. I mean, Helios and Avalon are still trying to farm together, which isn't going to make Avalon a very big tank. One of the primary weaknesses for double AD composition is if the opponent gets a really strong tank line, which is yet another reason for CLG to want to lane swap this match. Because when you lane swap and have extended 1v2 or extended double jungle opportunities, the top laners are always behind, but oftentimes the AD carry in the mid lane are much more free to farm. And that's what we're seeing here. The farm distribution is heavily skewed between mid lane and bottom lane, and very lightly skewed towards the top laners. They are starved this match.
They are starved indeed. It's a pony without a whole lot of meat in his bones. Maybe only useful for glue from the hooves.
That's cold. I think you should be building tank too.
Yeah, at this point, why even finish
Hecarim.
Triforce? I absolutely agree with you. Where typical offensive mastery build, all the emphasis on getting damage, just not going to happen here. Unless he really thinks that during the stun, they can one-shot a bunch of guys. I mean, these are some of the burstiest members you can get from the various lanes. Cass is to be front-loaded, Corki's front-loaded. I just don't know if it's really going to succeed. Avalon now getting jumped on by ZionSpartan. He is a level ahead, though. Never mind, Zion just killed something off, and the Catalyst region actually helping him in this fight as well. And it's Avalon who is forced to run away, running out of mana. He'd also gone for early Ninja Tabby, which doesn't help him in the matchup either.
I have seen Hecarim builds actually vary. Trinity Force is definitely the most popular one in solo queue, but there have been definitely a few Chinese top laners I've seen just go Frozen Heart and Spirit Visage, the two items together, and just become a CDR man who just spams Q in team fights and is very hard to kill. And then if they get a lead, they then transition into damage in teams that actually have a lot of damage from the other roles. Because in an organized team fight, Hecarim's nearly unkillable.
Hold on, though. Fight attempted here. Imagine taking a whole bunch of damage. The exhaust will save his life through the Ren, but Doublelift still wants blood. Pops his summoner heal, forces Altec to run away. Imagine still holds the ultimate if they need to disengage one more time. Teleport comes in from ZionSpartan to keep the engage from happening. Cancels as they back out.
Yeah, the teleport was mainly to dissuade Pobelter and would have been able to turn, but as it stands, good job by Winterfox to get that teleport cooldown away. Doesn't much save their 6,000 gold deficit, though, unless they can actually get some kills and get some ward control back in their jungle.
Ward control might be hard for these guys, though, as CLG continue to stay pushed up. There's just, you can't walk into the jungle right now if you're Winterfox, because you'll run into a ZionSpartan or something. So CLG will take some time to recall, looks like, with Dragon in a minute and a half, if that's even their objective. They want to make sure they've got full builds and full resource bars, and this maybe is the respite for Winterfox to get wards up.
Doublelift can actually finish his Bloodthirster in a couple of gold, I believe. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
They would only need Link to finish Trinity Force and be completely turned on power-wise. That'll probably sync up with when ZionSpartan gets his Frozen Heart. So a lot of power spikes that both teams want to hit. I mean, the Trinity Force for Altec is, as far as AD carries go, probably the most important power spike of any AD carry there early on in the game, as far as who can get it earliest. But Altec is the only one to really hit that. Kassadin's still waiting on the Zhonya's Hourglass. Avalon is waiting on his Trinity Force. So even though they have this mid-game power spike Corki, they can't do anything with it because CLG hit stronger power spikes at the same time with two items on double.
Exactly. Like, that's just such a rough situation. And I know the items cost different amounts, but when you see two big items to year one, you're just like, yeah, I'm never catching up here.
It's a 1,500 gold disadvantage already.
Sure. It's massive and scary, and it's not good things overall. So, gotta say, CLG, hide that one. We're good. You didn't see that.
Timers of sorts. Dragon's about to come back up.
And on cooldown, yep, CLG happened to slay the beast. Kalista says lizards are creatures of betrayal and or bring the dragon down.
Did you say both those things?
Yeah. I play her enough to like have those quotes memorized now. It's like all I play. She's really strong and fun. And a blue buff goes to Link. All right, so puts the blue in the blue build, I suppose.
Yeah. CLG really in complete control.
And even though you had Hecarim pushing the top lane, getting a little bit done, Link cuts the wave away from you. And being mid lane Ezreal, you're normally not level 11 this early. You don't normally have rank 2 ultimate to cut down caster minions. Of course, health scales up over time on minions. Link kind of outstripping that health scaling and actually clearing waves better than most Ezreals would normally.
So, one of the problems that CLG has, as we talked about in the pregame, is finding quality fights in the mid and late game because they're so far ahead so many times that they just take any fight they can, because that's honestly what CLG needs to do to win this game. It's a really good problem to have, honestly. We're so far ahead that we can't judge team fights that well. And it's happening again in this Winterfox game. I mean, look at this. It's a 7,000 gold, 4 turret to 0, 2 dragon to 1 advantage that CLG has built up. And the fights are almost only getting easier. I mean, Link is actually going to turn that mana mune into a Muramana very soon. He's at 684 of the 750 mana before that thing transforms.
Yeah.
Because remember, he upgraded at 6 minutes. CLG is really strong at this point.
Absolutely massive, and they're getting some tank stats on the divers, so maybe they can push in. Giant's Belt done on Xmithie. You've got half of kind of everything for CLG ZionSpartan, where he's got half of Frozen Heart, half of the Righteous Glory for the hardcore engage if he wants to do one of those things. We'll see which way he tilts first. And yeah, it's weird because they should be knocking down some tier 2 turrets again soon. Inhibitor turrets, though, are incredibly difficult. And it's almost too early to Baron. So you're like, well, we can keep ward control up, even though you won't face check it anyway.
I mean, Baron did only spawn 45 seconds ago. So
yeah.
It's been too early.
It was almost too early.
To touch on ZionSpartan's item build as well, I can't see him going anything but Righteous Glory Frozen Heart this game, tank-wise. If he's going to go Rod of Aegis, he would have completed it earlier on. And as far as magic damage threats go, Corki does about half magic damage, and there's no way Kassadin's going to be focusing Maokai.
No.
It's the smartest thing by far for him to stack armor.
And what's cool is he did use the upgraded green ward dropping trinket. I actually really like this on top laners. You can see Avalon's done it as well. They're so typically far enough away from the team that they can get the ward control up for the rest of the team in their extended split pushes. And it's going to be the flash hook. Whoa. Does not quite land. I'd imagine he flashes away from that one. Pobelter now on defensive duty, and in comes Avalon from the backside. Oh, Doublelift flashes the ulti and gets away, and there's the hard engage. Janna trying to heal the team up, but there's Avalon. First death of the fight. CLG on the chase. There's the second kill. Aphromoo claims it. 1-1-7 on him. Winterfox now forced to retreat back under the turret. The hook! Oh my god, it caught Altec. That is their 3rd kill this fight. That's their 4th. Pobelter forced to run with the rend. Maybe it'll be 5.
Is he out of stacks? He's out of mana for sure. 4 kills there by CLG. Aphromoo landing death sentence after death sentence with a giant lead by CLG. I mean, that was the worst time for Winterfox to actually fight because of all the power spikes we were actually talking about. Link had just hit his massive one that is probably a bigger spike than anyone else in that game. When that mana mune turns into a Muramana, they destroy Winterfox, and they're just going for even more with this Baron.
Yeah, with the Triforce done as well. 5,000 health left on Baron. CLG cleanly will control this one. They're even multitasking. Link's going to ult the bottom lane, clear the wave out. Belter now not able to push nearly as successfully. CLG have all but closed this game now. 12k up.
Yeah, and to take another look at this fight, they wanted to get the flank onto Kalista, but unless they can kill Kalista within the Terrify duration, they're not going to kill Kalista. I think Doublelift dodges out of that, doesn't even get CC'd strongly, and then imagine we knew Janna was going to be out of place in this team composition. It's a bunch of guys that go in, so the ult back doesn't really do much. CLG easily re-engages with all their ranged champions, and then Aphromoo already got a kill with Death Sentence, which means the cooldown is lower because he landed the first one. Lands the next one. CLG can hop all over Winterfox. 4 kills in the turret, easy.
Muramana's on for Link. Belter presses R. He gets out, so that man is Running away, tail between his legs under that little void cape of his. And CLG now have to make the choice of what do you do with your next 2 minutes of Baron buff. Dragon's up in 1 minute. You've got a mid tier 2 still to kill or open inhibitor turrets on the other 2 lanes.
I think they push mid with Doublelift and they push another lane with 4 people. Or you just group up and try and brute force it since Winterfox doesn't have wave clear. That's actually the smarter thing. Altec will not be able to clear this wave. Kassadin and Hecarim can contribute, and CLG should get a lot of free time on turrets. I think they can take this one and potentially even the inhibitor.
I will see if that ends up being the case. Janna's shield means it takes another 2 seconds, but the turret goes down all the same. Howling Gale buys another 2 seconds that knocks out the minion wave, but still, who on Winterfox really wants to fight here?
They can't clear that minion wave in time, I don't think. Oh, ZionSpartan got aggro.
Oh, Zion forced to run back at half health now on him, and until he levels up, that read is not going to come in for a while. But Dragon respawns. CLG can make the choice. Do you push with these last 2 waves that you've got Baron buff?
Yes.
The answer seems to be yes, yeah.
As long as ZionSpartan doesn't take turret aggro again for no apparent reason. Do not throw your sapling, and we're good.
Throws it. Pobelter takes some damage.
No.
All right, but now it's timed out, so he's all right. And there we go. Turret's going to fall. Inhibitor under fire. CLG patiently with the Baron buff push on in. Doublelift hops around for style points, but really just wants to go back across the lane.
I mean, do they have enough time to take that bottom wave as well? I think they do based on the Baron buff.
35 seconds on Baron. Should be right there with a wave and a half, even a cannon minion as well. So good catch by CLG. Bot lane, the target. Winterfox really shouldn't feel like fighting this. But a little bit of poke that CLG has taken maybe makes them want to back up. ZionSpartan only at 1,200 health here, but Avalon immediately chunked to the same mark. He gets hooked actually, and wow, Hecarim already gone.
I mean, if the Baron buff stays up for, I think they got like 10 or 15 seconds left, they might want to try and end the game. Nah.
No, I don't think they're going to be quite able to. It's much safer to go for Dragon here, 25.5 minutes in. Lantern the team. Now, top wave actually will be pushing back out towards Winterfox. There's nothing really for the red team to claim, as they know CLG will be dragoning right now. They know exactly where CLG is on the map. They know how much time it'll take them. They know they're going to recall in about 4 seconds here. But what can you even do? Link actually stays bot lane to push the wave in. Doublelift doesn't even want to be in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Phreak, you and I have watched a lot of League of Legends. Really? A 16,000 gold lead at 26 minutes. If we're asking what can Winterfox do, nothing right now.
Pretty much.
They have to just pray that CLG DCs, which is what would happen on like a live server. Hope that happens. Unfortunately, we were on the tournament realm and they would pause until they get back.
True.
So I think CLG's in the clear here.
They hope Froggen helps them somehow.
Perhaps.
Doublelift. Good guy, Doublelift. He's saving. Let's rend it, do it. Do it! Link gets the blue buff.
Yeah, CLG will have 2 waves of super minions pushing in the other lanes. They have double AD carry, which excels at mid-game turret taking, which is what they're going to be doing right now. They maybe even want to flank around the side because the doors are already open to Winterfox's base and get that 3rd inhibitor. CLG would need to massively, massively misplay this to not win on the next push.
Well, Winterfox going to hope to channel their inner TSM and defend their base against all odds. It's unlikely, but they're still in the game, which means they think they've got this chance. Looks like Sorcerer Elixir is up on Aphromoo. It actually increases damage in fights, so why not? Flag for Xmithie, gives one his attack speed. Link's got to be careful! Oh no, Link died! There's a 1-0. Now can Winterfox capitalize? Avalon already goes down. In fact, it's a 2-0 as Altec also dies. Imagine, resetting the fight does not mean anything. It's the 3rd casualty. In goes Aphro, lands the play, and Imagine pulls in Doublelift. That's 4 casualties, and now they're on to the Nexus turrets. It's a triple kill for Doublelift, 8-0-4. This is going to be the game. Congratulations, CLG. A 28-minute crushing of Winterfox.
Yeah, they did the lane swap game so well, Phreak. They really didn't allow Winterfox a window back in this game once they got the edge.
Well, you heard Pobelter talk about it. CLG knows how to play the lane swap. Great wards in the enemy jungle, capitalizing on any mistake possible. The cheeky recall into flash hook from Aphromoo in the mid lane that you didn't see coming. I didn't even see it happen.
Yeah. Well, it was because it was off the screen.
It was off the screen. It was great.
It wasn't even a part of the play until it was the play.
Well, counter to logic, Aphromoo was in fact the play. And CLG with very few losses, 8-3.
Yeah.
Second place secured so far.
And this game is an example why teams like Cloud9 are still calling CLG the best team in North America, even if the record doesn't have them in first place. Because when they win, they can be so impressive. The way with which they dominate the early game, how they rotate around the map, how Link is still the only person in North America to win with mid lane Ezreal, and he's done it twice in stunning fashion. Stuff like that, getting the farm and kills onto the right people, and ultimately winning the game quick.
You can see him huddling around the computer, pointing at fun little stats. Of course they go around Link's computer. Why wouldn't it be? He was the man of the match. Just like the Grizz, like, look at that. Yeah, look at all these things that I did.
Yeah.
God, I'm so good at this
I
game,
think they're
guys.
trying to compare who did more damage, because now there is the debate of who is the better AD carry on CLG.
Aphromoo, Doublelift, or Link?
Yeah. Who did the most damage?
Well, by damage to champions, it was in fact Link by 20% or so.
They did the lion's share of the damage.
Oh, yeah.
Together, that's for sure.
It's always impressive to me, the confidence of CLG. They come in with 2 new players this year. They actually excel in their respective roles.
ZionSpartan and Xmithie have done really extremely well. I mean, ZionSpartan here, in the lane swap situation where the entire game plan was to starve the top laners of the match from farm, still manages to become an unkillable beast on Maokai by the end of the game. 0-0-12, full tank build. Another prototypical game from Xmithie as well.
Yeah.
Still best in North America with wards killed. So his counter vision control as well as his overall vision control, going Sightstone nearly every game.
Yeah.
Trailblazer pretty much every game as well, because he only smites those vision controlling buffs. He tries to control the Raptor camp as much as possible for more ward killing.
Yeah.
But it all works for CLG because Xmithie kills the wards. It allows Aphromoo to make roams. It allows the lanes to play more aggressively. Things are working very well for CLG.
Yeah, things are absolutely great for these guys. So Counter Logic Gaming, congratulations on a very well